News 4 San Antonio starts right now.
And we start with breaking news out of Kirby, where a man who's said to have 2 children with him is involved in a standoff with sheriff's deputies. News 4 San Antonio's Darren Trotter joins us live there, where the standoff's been going on for about 2 hours. Darian?
That's right, and police telling us that at least one child is inside the home. SWAT team members trying to make sure that that child is safe. We can also tell you that this all started with a domestic dispute, telling us that a father and his adult son got into an argument. That argument got physical. After the fight, we are told that adult son, his girlfriend, and their infant left the home, telling Kirby police that their irate father was out inside the home, possibly with 2 small children, both under the age of 5. Right now, you can see that Bexar County has been called in to assist. They are here with the SWAT team. They are surrounding the mobile home, telling us that for hours they weren't sure if anyone was inside. That confirmation that someone was inside came about an hour ago when one of the small children, we're told, closed one of the 2 doors that were open. Now again, this is a volatile situation. However, SWAT team members don't seem to be moving with a lot of urgency at this time. They are trying to make sure that everyone is safe and that they can make contact with that person who is said to be armed inside. We will continue to follow this story. It is developing on Kirby Heights and Gibson Sprawl out here in Kirby, where we're live. Darian Trotter, News 4 San Antonio.
And developing right now, a deadly shooting at a car wash on the southeast side. A man was shot and killed while arguing with another man. This happened just a few hours ago, around 1:30 off Rigsby and Bon Air. News 4 San Antonio's Ashley King is live from the scene with what police know about the shooting so far. Ashley.
Well, it's still a very active crime scene out here. The medical examiner just arrived about 45 minutes ago, and if you take a look, police spent quite a few minutes searching the car back there for any evidence, and police tell us it's in front of that car where a man was shot to death. Now, investigators believe this started as a fight between 2 men who knew each other. Police say one of the men pulled out a gun and shot the victim multiple times. SAPD says that victim is a 27-year-old black man, and they believe the suspect took off in a red SUV, possibly a Ford Explorer with a paper license plate.
Eagle was up helping with the assist on trying to locate the suspect. A couple of officers on the way thought they saw some vehicles that might have matched the description, and we're still looking. We have officers on the quadrant trying to see if they can find the car.
And police tell us a lot of people were at the car wash when this shooting happened. Since then, we've seen a number of people come to the scene. We've even seen family members of that victim. They told us they did not want to speak on camera. Now, again, one man is dead. Police are still searching for a suspect, a man who left this scene in a red SUV. Reporting live from the southeast side, Ashley King, News 4 San Antonio.
Ashley, thank you. Also developing right now, a homicide investigation in Alamo Heights. The body of a young man, possibly in his teens, was found in the middle of the road on Alamo Heights Boulevard and Evans Avenue at around 2:20 this morning. He'd been shot several times. Investigators say he had attended a party on Broadway near Alamo Heights High School earlier in the night. And right now, they're still questioning several people at this time. The victim's identity is still unknown.
It's a safe neighborhood. It's very rare what happened, you know. It's so sad.
And yet another murder. A 17-year-old girl is shot dead, and her killer is still on the loose. Police tell us Amanda Acosta was killed after a single shot was fired at the car she was riding.
It happened near a McDonald's on Nogalitos on the southwest side. That's where News 4 San Antonio's Andrew Lofholm joins us now with how this all began. Andrew.
Yeah, it all started right around here. There was some sort of gathering over here on Cavalier and Nogalitos, and that eventually has turned into a physical altercation, but no shots were fired. Acosta and 4 others then headed this way on Cavalier and then this direction on Nogalitos, and right when they got to the McDonald's is when they were shot from behind.
About 3 miles away from where she was shot, 17-year-old Amanda Acosta was declared dead here
early this morning at Children's Hospital of San Antonio. There, police found a single bullet hole in the back of the Jeep.
No weapon, no arrest, and no motive other than the fact that there was a fight that was going on there.
Fred Sanchez was having a cigarette on his porch around 2:30 this morning.
Couldn't sleep, so I came outside.
He says he saw some teens hanging out down the block, but he didn't think much of it. By the time daylight came, though, he knew something had happened.
I woke up this morning at 5 minutes to 6, and I saw the police right there.
SAPD's homicide unit is leading the investigation that so far has only identified persons of interest, but no suspects.
This time the victim appears to have just been at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people.
We tracked violent crime in the area and found no reports of any recently.
It's a safe neighborhood. It's very rare what happened, you know. It's so sad.
And we went to the address that Jeep was registered to, but no one was home. We're live on the southwest side. Andrew Lafome, News 4 San Antonio.
Arson investigators still looking into what sparked that house fire on the northeast side today. It was just before 1 at a home on Green Breeze. That's near Verde Road. Nobody was home at the time. Firefighters say it looks like it started in the garage, then spread to the rest of the home. So far, they don't have an idea of the damage.
There's an Amber Alert right now for a 13-year-old girl who was last seen on Saturday in Katy near Houston. Adriana Coronado is 5 feet tall and weighs around 105 pounds. She has brown eyes, black hair, and wears glasses. That's all the information police have released about her. If you see her, call 911 immediately.
A woman who was just trying to lay her husband to rest unearthed an ugly practice down in South Texas. A whites-only cemetery. And since news of it came to light, several civil rights groups have come forward to challenge this antiquated and illegal practice. News 4 San Antonio's Zach Hedrick spoke to one of those groups today about what they have planned.
These 8 people say they've had enough.
Politically, it should be resolved, not addressed.
Peter Villacio and members of the American GI Forum say it's time for lawmakers to do more on the issue instead of only paying it lip service.
And South Texas has been plummeted into the depths of discrimination for years.
The group was moved to call for action after Dorothy Barrera was not allowed to bury her husband at the San Domingo Cemetery in Normanna, which is near Beeville, earlier this month.
I knew that racism wasn't dead, but I didn't know that it existed to the point that, you know, a man could not be buried in a cemetery.
Barrera says the owner told her they have a whites-only policy, which the cemetery confirmed to us 8 days ago by phone.
Told her that he wasn't supposed to be buried there because he was a Mexican or Spanish descent, whatever you want to say. That's what I told her. So that's what we've been doing.
A B County constable says less than 24 hours after denying Barrera, the San Domingo Cemetery Association reversed its decision. But Barrera decided to go another route.
I'm going to sue him. And I'm still going to fight for the rights of my husband, and I'm going to fight for the rights of the other people.
Villacio says the Department of Justice is now investigating the case. But like Barrera, this group decided to fight for the rights of others, one they say is being ignored by their representatives.
Enough is enough. We're going to address these issues if nobody else will.
Zach Hedrick, News 4, San Antonio.
The latest now on a man who was shot at a bus stop last night. Police say there were several witnesses to the shooting and want them to come forward to help them catch the teens responsible. The 37-year-old victim, who has not been identified, was sitting at a bus stop at Commerce and Sprigsdale when police say several teens walked up and started arguing with him. One of the teens pulled out a gun and shot him several times. He's now at SAMC in critical condition. If you know anything about this shooting, police ask that you call their homicide unit at 207-7635.
We also have new details on a man who was jumped and stabbed by a stranger on San Antonio's west side. Police have identified the victim and now the suspect in that case. Matthew Salazar was walking down Guadalupe near South Hamilton last night when police say 38-year-old Jose Maria Gonzalez just attacked him. Salazar was stabbed 5 times. He's now in the hospital in critical condition. Police say the men did not know each other. They don't know of a motive for that attack. Gonzalez is now charged with aggravated assault.
Up next, paid leave for parents to attend school functions. Some want it, some don't. Details on the bill that's been filed to make it happen.
All right, plus, what do pie, potato chips, and naps have in common? We'll have the answer for you after the break.
The late Mother Teresa will officially be declared a saint tomorrow. As a nun, she spent her life caring for the poorest of the poor across India. Pope Francis signed off on the miracle needed for her sainthood in December. It involved the inexplicable cure of a Brazilian man suffering from multiple brain tumors in 2008. A date and venue for the canonization ceremony will be announced tomorrow at the Vatican.
Across the nation today, at least 32 people were injured overnight when an Amtrak train derailed in Kansas. It was carrying 145 people at the time. It was headed from L.A. to Chicago when the engineer said he noticed a deformity in the rail, pulled the emergency brakes. 8 of those cars derailed. 2 of the injured are in critical condition this afternoon. The cause of that derailment is still under investigation.
In California, lawmakers right now are working on a bill that would give parents paid time off to attend school-related activities with their children. Assembly Bill 2405 would require businesses to give parents up to 3 days of paid time off each school year.
Nobody should have to choose between paying the bills and participating in their child's education. You end up with kids who are more engaged in their school, parents who understand better what their kids are working on, and then you end up having a more productive workforce in the future.
Now, the bill would apply to businesses with more than 25 employees. Some people, though, don't like it.
Surprising to me, especially with the way the economy is right now and where people are always looking for money and where we can find money for good causes.
Gatto says he knows it's going to be a big fight, but he is prepared for it and intends to win.
Okay, what do pie, potato chips, and naps all have in common? Well, they all share today as their official day. It is National Potato Chip Day, pie, as in the number pi, you should know that, and National Napping Day. Napping Day makes sense since this is the first Monday after the daylight saving change. And it's National Pi Day because today is the date that mimics the first 3 digits of the mathematical constant pi. That's 3.14, 314. As for potato chips, well, there's no particular reason. It's just every day should be Potato Chip Day. Up next, we're on the eve of one of the greatest days in the race for president. Why tomorrow could be a big day for Ted Cruz, even if he doesn't win any states.
And the Ides of March are making way for the Sales of March, the items you can save big money on this month.
Well, it's spring break, lots of sunshine on all the maps, but it seemed a little warm this afternoon, didn't it? Almost too much like summer, and we've still got winter and some fronts coming. When will it come, how much rain they'll bring with them, I'll let you know when I come back.
San Antonio's most accurate forecast. 4-zone weather.
Well, if it felt a little toasty, yeah, we hit 90 degrees today. The normal is 73, and of course the record's 96. We didn't really touch that. Still, 90 is kind of odd, and we still have about a little less than a week of winter. The weather is what we call zonal, west to east, not north, south, not doing anything strange, just kind of staying where it is. Well, we look at the subtropical jet in the future, and it's still bringing in some moisture and cloud cover. But here comes our next upper-level storm. If you recall, the last one was pretty eventful for us. This one's going to start sinking Friday into Saturday and then start moving back towards us. But we also have a couple of frontal boundaries that are going to come through, and so that will help trigger some rain. Plus, if we give Future Tracker a chance here, the clouds will roll in tomorrow, but the rain will roll in on Wednesday. There it is right there. You'll see it come in with some sea breeze showers. Not expecting that to make San Antonio yet, but it will help saturate the air in advance of the approach of those frontal boundaries. So let's see how we do on Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, there'll be some showers up on the radar. As we showed you, this is the region, 98 right now in Cotulla, Carrizo at 95. Let's go into Future Tracker and show you tonight. We'll be back down to about 50 degrees, give or take 60 degrees, and then daytime highs tomorrow rebounding once again into the low 90s, upper 80s for us, a little bit cooler down towards Carrizo. Let's look at the week. Wow, from 90, almost a 30-degree drop to 63. By Saturdays, we get the approach of boundaries, and then we come back up again. It's a roller coaster ride. Winter is not done just yet. Aquifer down, but it really went up greatly with the rain we had recently, according to the Ancira GMC Storm Tracker. Oak is the only thing that's heavy. Everything else is light. So tomorrow, another hot day. 80s to 50s, mid-80s, upper 80s, but still pleasant, just 10 or 15 degrees above normal from what we're used to seeing around the region. Around here, a fairly quiet night, no problems. Clear sky, 60 degrees, admittedly really warm. Tomorrow we could run into the 90-degree mark again, and it's still officially winter. 7-day outlook, we pick up some storms towards the end of this week, and that'll cool us down into the 60s again. So winter's got one more push before he or she, however you want to address it, is gone.